at the southernmost edge of our planet, where winter rules for most of the year. An extraordinary journey is about to begin. Here, survival demands courage, endurance, and perfect timing. Every hunting expedition begins with a demanding march across the frozen sea. Every hunt begins with a moment of caution. Beneath the frozen surface, danger may already be waiting. Before every dive comes a moment of hesitation. Hidden beneath the surface may be one of Antarctica's most efficient predators. Once beneath the ice, everything changes. On land, they struggle. But underwater, they become masters of speed and precision. Their remarkable eyesight allows them to detect even the slightest movement. Every successful catch is vital in this frozen world. A single fish may seem insignificant. But each catch provides the energy needed to survive another unforgiving day. But every hunt carries risk. Somewhere in the darkness, another hunter has already begun its search. Speed, agility, and instinct are often the only defenses against one of Antarctica's deadliest marine predators. With food secured, the journey is only half complete. The colony still lies many kilometers away. In Antarctica, every successful hunt means another chance for the next generation. Here, endurance is the true measure of survival. In a colony of thousands, every parent and chick must recognize one another. By voice alone, one mistake could mean starvation. Every fish represents hours of effort beneath the frozen sea. For these chicks, each meal is another step toward survival. Food alone is never enough. Antarctica constantly reminds its inhabitants that survival depends on preparation. Blizzards can last for days. Temperatures plunge. Visibility disappears. And only cooperation offers a chance of survival. No penguin survives Antarctica alone. Together, they create one of nature's most remarkable strategies against extreme cold. Another storm has passed. Those that endured now face the next challenge: finding enough food before the weather turns again. Rest is brief in Antarctica. The search for food begins again almost immediately. The icy ocean remains their only reliable source of food, but every dive carries enormous risk. Far below, another hunter patrols the frozen sea. Against an orca, caution is often the only defense. In the frozen heart of Antarctica, every day is a battle between hunger and survival. Yet generation after generation, the emperor penguin continues. One of nature's greatest stories of resilience. Beneath the frozen surface lies an entirely different world. Here, every movement must be efficient. every breath carefully measured. Experience teaches these hunters where food is most likely to gather. Every ripple carries valuable information. Opportunity appears without warning. In Antarctica, hesitation often means going hungry. Powerful flippers and streamlined bodies allow emperor penguins to outmaneuver even the fastest prey. Each dive pushes the limits of endurance. Oxygen is precious, and every second beneath the ice must count. Finding open water in time is essential. Every successful breath is another chance to survive. The greatest danger often arrives without a sound. Beneath the ice, patience belongs to the predator. In this frozen labyrinth, survival depends on instinct and split-second decisions. Survival brings no celebration. There is only enough time to prepare for the next challenge. Every successful hunt ends with another long journey. Across the endless ice,
devoted parents carry the future of their colony home. The hunt may be over, but the journey home is far from easy.
Every step across the frozen wilderness demands precious energy. Even the ground beneath their feet can become a deadly trap. Antarctic sea ice is constantly shifting. Even solid ground cannot always be trusted. Every careful step helps avoid unnecessary risk. Can mean the difference between safety and disaster. Instinct and experience guide every decision. Choosing the safest path is often worth the extra distance. The ocean never stops hunting. Orcas patrol these waters with extraordinary intelligence and patience. Patience can be as valuable as speed. Sometimes, waiting is the safest choice. When one bird commits, the others quickly follow. Together, they reduce the risk faced by any single individual.
Speed alone cannot defeat an orca.
The penguins rely on the maze of sea ice to escape a far larger predator. Nature rewards those perfectly adapted to their environment. Size is not always the greatest advantage. Another perilous journey nears its end. But in Antarctica, survival is never a final victory. It is a challenge that begins again with every new dawn. After days at sea, each parent must find its own chick. Among thousands of nearly identical voices, their bond depends entirely on sound. After days of waiting, the young penguin is finally reunited with the parent whose return means another chance to survive. Every fish carried across the frozen wilderness becomes life itself for the next generation. Parenthood here is a constant relay. As one returns from the sea, the other must begin the long journey once again. As darkness returns, temperatures fall rapidly. Another Antarctic night begins. Even in darkness, the colony never truly sleeps. Every parent remains alert against the relentless cold. With the arrival of dawn, the endless cycle of survival begins once more. Hunger never waits. Before long, another journey to the sea must begin.
In this frozen wilderness, even the greatest journeys leave only the smallest footprints. Here, every journey ends, only to begin again.
In Antarctica, survival is not a destination. It is a way of life. Driven by instinct, the adults once again leave the safety of the colony. Ahead lies the Southern Ocean, their only source of food. The edge of the ice marks the boundary between safety and danger. Yet every successful hunt begins here. Underwater, emperor penguins become graceful athletes, perfectly adapted to one of Earth's harshest environments. Every successful catch is the result of millions of years of evolution, refining speed, endurance, and precision. Each successful return carries hope for the colony, waiting far beyond the frozen horizon. Across the frozen continent, every step brings nourishment to the next generation. For every chick that survives today, the future of the colony grows a little stronger. The survival of emperor penguins depends entirely on the fragile balance of Antarctica's sea ice. The survival of emperor penguins depends entirely on the fragile balance of Antarctica's sea ice.
On the frozen continent, at the end of the Earth, life endures. Against impossible odds, every hunt, every journey, and every new generation reminds us that survival is not a single victory,
but an endless story written in ice.
Driven by instinct, the adults once again leave the safety of the colony. Ahead lies the Southern Ocean, their only source of food. The edge of the ice marks the boundary between safety and danger. Yet every successful hunt begins here. Underwater, emperor penguins become graceful athletes, perfectly adapted to one of Earth's harshest environments.